Hi everybody, I'm here to report on last night's 5-0 win for Rangers against Annan in the Scottish Cup at Ibrox. And in a cold January night, Friday night, not exactly conditions conducive to an enjoyable experience, it actually turned out okay, especially when we learned that Danny had made 9 changes to the team. And I do know somebody who, when he saw the team, was absolutely, what's the word, horrified, disgusted, annoyed. Whereas when I saw the team, I actually predicted a 4-0 win, so I wasn't that far away. As to the team, we saw guys coming onto the park who we really thought we would never see again playing for Rangers, Rothwell, Dowell, Matondo, people like that. And to be fair, they actually contributed stuff to the game, so well done to them. We even saw some newcomers like the new guy Chukwuani and a young guy called, wonderful name, Zebedee Lawson. Apparently, he's only 17. We got him from Brighton in the summer, and he actually looks as if he could be a prospect. He looked confident, he looked strong enough. He had one good shot that the goalie had to save. So he actually looked a decent prospect at 17 years old. And the new guy that we got from Sturm Graz, Chukwuani, I think that's how you say his name, he is the biggest, strongest looking Rangers player I think I've ever seen in my 65 years of going to Ibrox. I don't think I've seen a more impressive build of a Rangers player. He really looks strong, purposeful, determined. He looks as if he could be a real find, and he can pass it about quite the thing. So that was really good to see him, for 15 minutes maybe, that kind of time. So all that augurs well for the future. The team itself, I mean, when you saw the defence, Aarons, Giga, or Bomb Scare, as we should start calling him, Insiala and Magoma, the only part of the defence since Kelly was in goal, the only part of the defence who normally plays there. So that would have been worrying maybe against most other teams, but it is Annan, so we've got to always bear that in mind when we're praising the performance last night. Insiala, I thought, had a good game. This guy shows he can pass it long, short with that left foot, usually on the deck, usually forward, all things we've been crying out for. He even did 2 or 3 great 40-yard diagonal passes right to the guy on the wing. Once it was Curtis, I can remember. The one mistake I can remember him making was when he was taking the ball out of defence in the first half, and he must have gone about 20 yards with it, and then he the ball kind of got away from him, and the opponent just took it away, just managed to grab it and run back the other way with it. So that was his one mistake. I would keep that guy, or at least if you're putting him out on loan, it should be with a view to bringing him back with 4 months experience of a Scottish game, because he looks a decent player, far better than Bombscare Giga, who went to the AFCON, didn't play a minute, actually held the game up. I suppose understandably, if you've spent the last month in Africa and you come back, and then it's a night like last night, it caused the delay to the kick-off because he had to run into the dressing room and then re-emerge wearing gloves. So it was so cold, he just couldn't play without those gloves, despite holding the game up. So he's a bomb scare. He did a couple of things in the first 10 minutes. When we were off it, we just went up to the mark in the first 10 minutes, too lackadaisical, lacking desire, complacent, all the usual things when you're playing a wee team at home. We didn't give them chances, really. They had a couple of dangerous moments. One of them was down solely to him, Giga. So after the first 10 minutes, though, we got a grip, he got a grip, he actually got a bit better, it didn't cause us any problems after that. But that guy's a bomb scare. He should be the last resort when it comes to picking players to play in defence. As I say, the first 10 minutes, it wasn't good. We thought it might be one of these games, just like Queen's Park last season, but thankfully it didn't turn out like that. The first goal, I think, was in about 15, 16 minutes. That turned everything around, and we knew we'd won as soon as that first goal went in. I don't think Annan did anything until the last couple of minutes when they had a wee flurry. So, first goal, Miovski, so glad to see Miovski get it. It was a nice finish, a good attack. The ball kind of bounced off, I think, Dowell, Danilo as well, pounced on by Miovski. He turned it onto his left. Three players sort of surrounding him, and he managed to fire it off low into the net. Similar, maybe even to the Kilmarnock goal he scored a month or so ago. So a good finish, 1-0. We know the game's finished. We did get better. We started passing it better with a bit more fluency and speed. Some players really showed up well. Here, a shout out for Joe Rothwell. We never expected to see him again. I thought he was our best man. He, when he got the ball, went forward with it, passed it forward, did quick passes, sometimes thoughtful passes. But on the whole, I don't really remember him making a mistake. I thought he was our best man. But of course, you can't not give the man of the match to somebody who scored a hat-trick. So Miovski got the man of the match. Any hat-trick player's got to get the man of the match, unless of course you're playing alongside Brian Laudrup in a cup final and then it goes to him. But I thought Rothwell did well, so let's hope somebody's looking at him and hoping to take him back to the English Championship, because that would have done him no harm the way he played last night. Even Dowell created some couple of things, and he scored a great goal, so he might have done his prospects a bit of good, not at Ibrox, but getting a move. The second goal was Dowell played an important part. Good move. I think Gassama started it. Dowell got it inside the box. He did a quick swivel and pass to the right. Finlay Curtis ran onto it, lovely chip into the box, and there was Miovski to head it from about 3 yards in. So that was a good goal, and Dowell played his part. Just after half time, Dowell scored the third. Another worked corner, short corner, 1-2 between Gassama and Rothwell. Rothwell fired the cross in from just outside the box, and there was Dowell on the penalty spot practically to jump and kind of twist his head to glance it into the top corner. So a great header. So he played his part in the game last night as well as Rothwell. Even Matondo did that, because he got the penalty for the fourth goal when he got past one guy in the box, and then another Annan guy just came across and wiped him out, just barged him over and had the cheek to protest. And there was a bit of a tussle between Asgard, who was on as a sub, and Miovski for who should take the penalty. But Miovski had the ball and he wasn't letting it go. He was going to get his hat-trick, and he duly did. Nice penalty, sent the goal the wrong way. And what I liked about it was his style is he takes one of these curved run-ups to the ball, which means you can put it to the left or the right. The keeper doesn't know which way it's going, hence maybe why he dived the wrong way. So that was a great penalty, his hat-trick, well done to him. We had to wait until the 85th minute for the best goal of the game. A foul on Moore. I think that was the first booking of the whole game. Foul on Moore after going by a couple of guys. Asgard stepped up. It must have been 30 yards out. What a free kick. One of the best I've ever seen at Ibrox, actually. Everybody, the defenders, the attackers, were all across the 18-yard line. He's 30 yards out, and he just put it over the wall, dipping, curling into the top corner. Fantastic goal. So with the last two goals there, I think we don't need to worry if Captain Heroic Tavernier never plays again or goes elsewhere at the end of the season, because Miovski would be a perfectly good substitute as a penalty taker, and Asgard has shown there he can fire them in from 20-30 yards. So we've got ready-made replacements for Tavernier, so let's hope he does go at the end of the season. So 5-0 win, good win, some nice stuff. Curtis hit the bar, made a goal, looked lively, even ended up at left back, playing quite well at left back, so good on him as well. I wouldn't put him out on loan, I'd keep him. Who else? Most of them did quite well. Even Giga got a bit better. He wasn't up against anything though after the first 10 minutes. The one disappointment, as I said, was Danilo. He can't even do it against a team like them, so try and get rid of him as soon as possible. Kelly had nothing to do in goal. So a good night, enjoyable, into the next round. Let's hope we get a home draw and keep progressing, especially with the 3 new guys that we've got in already. So enjoyable night, even in the middle of January. Not something you say very often.